I'm going to go ahead and get started. Welcome back to Taste Test Thursday, aka Take a Seat. If you have been following me on Facebook, you saw my post about changing the name. We are officially doing that because today's Saturday, and oftentimes I feel like Saturday or a different day will work better. We are going to keep doing a weekly live stream, but it's just not going to be Taste Test Thursday. So it'll be weekly, but I will make an announcement about when the live stream is coming up on my Facebook. So if you're not following me on there, go ahead and do that so that you don't miss out on any updates or anything like that, because I'm not very good at updating on YouTube itself. So there's my little announcement for the day. Let's go ahead and get started. Thinking about this live stream at the beginning of this week, I really wanted to do something still Valentine's-y because I feel like I'm not ready to be done celebrating Valentine's Day yet. So I wanted to do something a little bit fancy but still simple because it's Saturday and I don't have all the time in the world. I've got 3 little kiddos and we've just got a really busy weekend. So I have a fun meal planned, but it's not going to be anything that's super hard. So like always, we are starting with an iced coffee. I don't always do coffee, but it's been quite a few live streams in a row that I've done coffee as our starting drink. So this time I'm going to make a dark chocolate and cherry latte. I have never made this before, so hopefully it turns out well. I'm going to mix, don't want to spill this until it gets into the pan. I'm going to move this over here so you can see what I'm doing. I just have heavy whipping cream in a pan, and I'm going to heat this up until it's almost boiling. And I'm going to make a dark chocolate ganache to go in the coffee. I have a confession though, even though I've never made this specific latte before, I did try out a latte yesterday. Sorry, I'm hearing my daughter crying over there. I might have to go get her real quick, but hi, are you playing? Yeah. I did try out a different kind of dark chocolate cherry latte. Oh dear. She is just learning how to prop herself up on her front hands, on her hands. So sometimes she will slip and bonk herself, which is so sad. But this one and the other ones, the older 2 are actually taking a nap right now, but they've all been sick for like a week, just with this constant cough. Anyway, I was starting to tell you that I tested out a dark chocolate cherry latte yesterday, but I did it in a different way. I made the espresso right over the chocolate chips, and then I mixed it in, but it didn't get all the way mixed in, so I didn't really like how that turned out. And then instead of fresh cherries, I used the, what's it called? Maraschino cherries, the ones in the red juice in a jar. I used those for my latte, and it was good. It wasn't what I expected it to taste like. So we're trying a completely different way this time. I'm making a dark chocolate ganache instead of mixing the chocolate chips with the espresso. So hopefully it'll be a smoother finish, and instead of using those jarred cherries, I took about 20 minutes and got the seeds out of these cherries, and we're gonna cook them with sugar and hopefully make a better cherry sauce to go in the iced latte. I know that's a little overkill for a coffee, but I'm not just making one latte. I'm telling myself this more than I'm telling you. I'm making enough of these ingredients to make my afternoon latte for the rest of the week. So this is gonna be my daily afternoon coffee for the rest of, well, today's Saturday, so all of next week. I will be able to enjoy this. So it's a kind of overkill amount of work for one latte, but I'd say it's an appropriate amount of work for the rest of 7 days for a latte. Does that make sense? I hope it does. I think we are going to have to use a bigger bowl though. I'll show you what I'm working with over here. That I measured out 1 part chocolate to 1.5 parts heavy whipping cream. So since this is full to the top, I won't be able to pour the cream over it. I'm gonna get a bigger bowl for that. And then I'm gonna get a spatula just to stir up this heavy cream and get it heated all the way through. I don't want it, I think I already said this, but I don't want it to boil. I just want it to be almost boiling. And we're getting pretty close. I can see the steam coming off it. It's getting closer to being done. Oh, I see a little bit of bubbles. I think it's done now. So I'm gonna turn this off and go ahead and pour it in the chocolate chips. I think this is gonna finish a lot better and turn out to be a yummier coffee for sure. All right, now those are just gonna sit in there for like 10 minutes. I'm not gonna set a timer or anything, but I'm gonna start on the cherries and get them kind of cooking together. And then by the time I'm done with that, the ganache will be ready. All right, I'm gonna have to put her in a carrier because I need 2 hands for a lot of things. All right. I don't want curdled milk in my cherries, so here we go. Gonna add in these, and I didn't measure, but it looks like about 2 cups of chopped up cherries. And then I don't want to go overboard with the sugar, but this is a syrup to go in the coffee. It's not like I'm going to be drinking straight cherries. So I think I'm going to do a cup of sugar. That feels like a lot, but I think it'll even itself out since I'm only going to use about a tablespoon of this syrup for each coffee. All right, that is a cup of sugar. I had a lot of fun coming up with this idea though. I have really been enjoying coming up with a new coffee or drink to go with each live stream. But I do think it would be fun to use any suggestions that you might have of coffees or drinks to try in the upcoming live streams. So if you have any ideas, or if you have a coffee, a latte that you really enjoy and you want me to try on here, let me know, because I would enjoy trying those. Oh, I turned off this stove. I'm glad I noticed that pretty early on. So today, instead of just cooking, I thought I would talk a little bit about the daily sparkle or romanticizing mom life. I have kind of talked a little bit about this before, but I think there are some new ways that we can look at it. Usually when I think about romanticizing mom life or making each day, special, I come up with the wrong idea each time. And what I mean by that is I think of journaling for 30 minutes as like a self-care type of a thing would be good. Or let's see, what else was I thinking of? Unwinding after putting the kids to bed, doing like candles or a bath or something, which is good once in a while, but not really a daily reset type of a thing. Alone time while I'm drinking my coffee, I think of that as just, another self-care type of thing. Not that any of these things are bad, but it doesn't really make sense for my life. So I was trying to come up with different ways of romanticizing my routine in February, kind of making myself motivated or excited again for life in the midst of kids being sick and just busyness. The summer is coming up and that's going to be crazy busy trying to do all sorts of activities with the kids, and it is really easy to just get bogged down with all the things to do and not take a step back and enjoy them. So here's some of the things. I've got 4 things that I was thinking of that just kind of make each day a little more special. First of all, Bible time, not just reading through my list of places in the Bible to go and read, but actually really taking time to pray first and finding my favorite verse out of what I read that day to write down and just have it up on my cork board over here and look at it throughout the day. That really helps me just have a reset whenever I'm feeling down or feeling like the day isn't going how I wanted it to, or just it's too crazy. That really helps me just to look back on that. I'm going to come over here and stir this while I'm talking. But also having a hymn of the week to sing, written down again on my cork board. I love this board over here that my husband got for me. But just having a different hymn up there so that I don't have to come up with a godly song. I can just look at the one for the week and sing that one in my heart over the course of a week, and then switch it up whenever the week resets. Because sometimes that's on Sunday evening, sometimes that's Monday. But anyway, another thing I was thinking about is having a fancier second coffee of the day or drink or whatever. Usually it's coffee, sometimes it's some sort of tea, but having a fancier cup kind of halfway through the day after lunch afternoon type of coffee. I don't get to sit down and enjoy it. I'm sorry. I am saying all the time because I'm trying to think about other things. But basically, having a second cup that's a little bit fancier, a little bit more fun, is just something to look forward to in the middle of the day so that I'm not just coasting along and trying to get to bedtime. Something to kind of pick me up and get me going again after the afternoon. So that's number 2. Number 3 is to put on makeup and a pretty dress. This is not super fancy, but this has been my favorite outfit this month. I specifically put it on so that I could talk to you about it. Again, not fancy, but it helps me. I enjoy it. I feel pretty in it, and then putting on a little bit of makeup helps me feel like I'm ready to go do something out of the house, go do something special. And if I feel like the day I'm ready for a special day, like to go out, to go out with my husband or go somewhere, then even if I'm not going out that day, it still makes it feel like a special day. A special day at home. I'm not, staying in my house coat all day long. I'm in, clothes that I could go out to the store or wherever and feel ready for the day. Does that make sense? So that when I'm doing my cleaning or whatever I have to do that day, I'm not just dressed in rags or whatever. So that's another way that I make each day feel special. The last one that I thought of is when it's bedtime and the kids are just going crazy because they don't want to go to bed yet. I will have them sit down and we will either work on a craft together or I will let them color by themselves for a while. And whether I'm sitting down with them or working on some laundry while they color, it really helps us all to just wind down. I love sitting with them and getting my own creative juices flowing, because you don't have to be perfect when you're drawing with kids. You can just kind of go crazy and color a horse pink or whatever. So I've really been enjoying that, and it just makes each moment of the day feel a little bit more special. So that is my spiel. I think that these cherries are pretty much done. I just wanted them to get soft, and then I'm gonna put them in, probably not a glass thing because they're boiling pretty high here. But this is my only metal bowl, so I need to put them in something else, and then I'll get my immersion blender out and blend them out. Here we go. I'll use this. These are more like ceramic, but they're deep enough that I can get my immersion blender going. All right, you're gonna have to sit over here. Think you can handle that? Had to put my daughter down real quick so that I can do this, and in case the hot cherries splatter. don't want them to splatter on her. I'd much rather them splatter on me. But before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and mix up this ganache and get it all smooth and creamy. I should have done this with a whisk, I guess, but oh well. It'll work out fine. So I'm curious, those of you who were paying attention to all my spiel about romanticizing my life, is there anything you do to make each moment a little bit better, a little bit sweeter, all the boring things in life? What do you do to make each day special? I'd love to hear about that in the comments. All right, this is, whoa, perfect. That is exactly what I wanted it to look like yesterday. And it was so chunky, and it would work for the right scenario, but not for the coffee I was working on yesterday. Someone said, what are you making? This is chocolate ganache. This over here is cherries that I'm gonna get my immersion blender out and blend up. I'm making a dark chocolate cherry latte. I already mentioned this before, but since we've got a couple new people hopping on, I know that it seems like overkill for one coffee, and it probably is, but this is going to be my second coffee of the day for a week to come, so it's not just for one coffee. I'm just going to keep it in here, I guess, to blend it up. Hopefully this does not squirt everywhere. I'm trying really hard not to make a mess. There we go. Just if I go slow. Oh boy. Yeah, I need this to be immersed a little bit better. So I'm going to pour it in this bowl to blend it up. I think that'll be better. Trying really hard not to get it all over. Okay, that's gonna have to be good enough because I don't want to get hot cherry all over me. Ugh, I can get this. I don't know why this is so hard. I'm just gonna set it aside so you don't have to watch the struggle, and we will get the rest of this coffee going. Okay, it tastes good, apparently. All right, baby. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you. I know. You just want mommy to hold you all day because you're not feeling good. I just didn't want the cherry to get you. I didn't want it to splash on you. It splashed on mommy and it was so hot. Oof. There we go. Okay. Now that she's with me, she'll be a little more content. Sounds like she lost her voice. Yeah. It's been a hard week of coughing for my kiddos, and she has had the worst of it the past couple of days. So she's tired of it for sure. Alright. What am I doing? Shh, 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 shh. I might have to take a break. What's wrong? Are you sleeping? I will be right back. I'm going to set her down for a nap. Ooh. Man, poor girl. That is so tough to be sick. Now I'm hearing my other ones start crying. They're waking up too. But we're gonna get this coffee. We're gonna get this coffee first. I'm going to mix the chocolate again straight with the espresso. But this time it's smooth and creamy chocolate, and it won't get all clumpy in the iced coffee. I'm sorry, I set my camera down a little crooked. I'm gonna put maybe a tablespoon of this chocolate ganache in the cup to mix with espresso, and then I will get on with the rest of the coffee. Hey Maddie, are you all done sleeping? Alright, gotta go dump this out. Let's see if I missed anything. I had a couple more people hop on and say, hi, thank you for watching. That device seems handy. Oh yeah, the immersion blender is so nice. I use it for so many things. I think I've used it like 3 times in the past couple of live streams, so it has gotten a lot of camera time lately. I am just filling up my have to fill that up the next time I make a coffee. Yes, dear? Some food? Sure. Do you want some grapes? Or some turtles? Why don't you come and tell Mommy what you want when you're ready, okay? Alright. I'll just get that espresso going, and I can start on the cherry part. Let me get a spoon for the sauce. Okay. I think what I'll do is mix the cherry straight with the milk. That way it's pink and cute. Alright, that looks like a tablespoon. I'm going to do probably 2 tablespoons so that it can sweeten the rest of this coffee. There's not much sweetness in the dark chocolate, so the sweetness is coming straight from the cherries. And then I'm going to put in the milk next. Look at that, pretty pink. Oh, I think I put in too much milk. We're not going to have much room for ice, but that's okay. That's plenty. Plenty of room for ice, I think. A little bit more. Sweetie, what's wrong? Are you just tired still? Alright, this coffee part is done. I'm just going to mix the ganache with the espresso. And we'll let you see that there. It's a little bit messy, but I'm trying to go quickly. There we go. Looks good. get enough room. Put a little bit too much milk in there to start off. Oh well. Alrighty, now for the taste test. I'm excited. Oh, I forgot to do. I was gonna do whipped cream with it, but that's okay. Mmm. Yay, that is so much better. I was a little worried yesterday when I tried out my other version of this coffee and it turned out kind of mediocre, but this one is really good. So I'm glad I made that one for this live stream. That's really yummy. Alrighty, now for the meal, and this is going to be super simple, so hopefully with my crying kids everywhere I can get this done in a good amount of time. We have on the menu honey balsamic berry salmon, and I'm looking at my notebook down here, and Parmesan roasted asparagus. So here's my salmon. We are gonna pat this dry and then, actually, let's go ahead and get the pan hot first. I was in the midst of washing this and drying it in the oven like I always do, so it is hot and ready to go. Let's start off with the oil, and then I think the recipe said to cook the salmon first and then do the glaze over for the top of it after the salmon is cooked. Hey baby. Hi. Oh. Did you wake up? You done with your sleeping? Love you. Where did you find this recipe? Somebody asks. I actually asked AI for a fun Valentine's recipe that is simple and easy to make because I wanted it to be festive but not too crazy. Alright, I gotta put you down, dear. I gotta keep cooking, okay? And then I'm gonna turn on my oven to 400 for the roasted asparagus. AI for the win, right? I know, it can be so useful. My daughter is still crying in the bathroom. I'm not sure what she wants. I think I might not be able to keep going with this. I have to... What, honey? Water? Okay. Here.
No, I already have water.
You already had water?
Yeah.
You don't want new water?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine, honey. What do you want? You wanted turtles? Okay, we can do that. Let me get a bowl.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Sounds like she's not gonna fall asleep yet, so I'm gonna pick up. She keeps calming down and then being sad again. I don't know what to do. I think she's just really not feeling well. I just fed her. Oh man. Maybe I'll feed her again. I'm gonna take off this. You're gonna have to wait for that because Mommy's gonna do my live stream first. Could you what? She's calming down again. I think I'm gonna wait and let her just rest. I don't think she's hungry. I think she just wants me to hold her and sleep while I hold her. So, we're gonna make supper first and she is gonna be fine. I just need to let her rest. Okay. We have our salmon and our paper towel. I'm gonna dry this off. Then I'm going to season it with salt and pepper. So you see why I need a simple, easy recipe in my life? Supper time is the worst for my kids. They are always, somebody's always grumpy. So it makes the most sense to do something simple for supper. Usually lunch goes a little bit easier, but most of the time simple is what I need. Yes? Can you have what? You want to draw on my notebook? I guess you can. That's fine.
I don't want that book. I
Don't want my book? Honey, what do you want me to do? I'm busy doing a live stream. You gotta let Mommy work on it. I don't know what you want me to do. You want a little one? A little notebook? Okay. That's not that hard to do. We can do that. I thought you wanted the little notebook from the office. You want the little notebook?
Yeah.
Okay. While we wait on that to cook, I'm going to get her a project going so that she's not sad. Let's see here. Where is that notebook we had? There it is. Here's the notebook. I'm going to put it, where do you want it, I guess? Right here? Alright. You're welcome. Alright. Now I'm going to put together all the rest of the ingredients. We've got 3 tablespoons of balsamic vinegar, 2 tablespoons of honey. I'm just going to put all of this in one of these little dishes I have here. So, get out my tablespoon. Balsamic vinegar, 3 tablespoons. 1, 2, 3. Then 2 tablespoons of honey. And I'm just using a really generic honey from Aldi. And then I don't think I have to add anything else to this. I am just gonna get some raspberries from the freezer. And we'll add those straight to the pan. We don't have to mix those in with the sauces. Man, I tell you what, my brain is not on. My stove is not on either, so there we go. Now it's on, and this should cook a little bit faster. It's okay. Now we need a cup of these raspberries. They smell so good. Maybe I should do a raspberry coffee next. You should do a shrimp one next. A shrimp coffee? I hope that's not what you mean. I'm not going to be doing that. Do you want me to get them? Okay. Alright. I feel like I'm waiting forever on these, but while I wait, I may as well get the asparagus ready. It's not going to take very long in the oven, just 10 to 12 minutes. So I'm going to drop some of them. That wasn't part of the plan, but oh well. Okay. I'm going to rinse these off and then snap off the bitter end. Now, I've hardly ever cooked asparagus before, but I know that the end is not a part you want to eat, so should have probably watched a tutorial on how to cook these, but I think it'll be fine. Can't be that hard, right? Just snap off the end wherever it wants to break. And apparently that is where it is bitter. I don't know if that's true or not, but I remember hearing that somewhere, so hopefully that's right. Not false. My husband doesn't like asparagus, and salmon is kind of hit or miss, so I feel like it's really great timing to make it because he has kind of a party sort of a thing tonight. I think his sister won the fantasy football this year, and so they're gonna do like a little congratulations party at Pizza Street, so that'll be fun. My oldest is gonna go with him and make it kind of a daddy-daughter date along with celebrating his sister. So good timing to make this meal, and it's just me and Izzy who will be eating it. So that's why I'm not making a crazy amount. I thought this whole time that you could see what I was doing. Oh boy, that one does not want to break. Okay, hopefully that was the right way to do that. Now I'm going to drizzle this is avocado oil all over it. And then salt and pepper the whole thing, and then Parmesan cheese. So it's pretty simple side as well. I feel like most of the time Saturday night is a family night. So what are some family games that you like to play if you have toddlers, especially because it's so hard to do anything as a family with toddlers? My husband bought a couple of board games. I think it was near Valentine's Day. Maybe not quite on Valentine's Day, but we played them together and had fun with those. One of them was Guess Who. It's like where the board is set up with a bunch of different people and you have to guess who the other person picked. So that was a fun game. And then he also bought, it's Life, but it's not the original one. It's a Mario version of Life, and so that was fun to play together. I don't think he has ever played that before, so the girls will definitely enjoy that when they get older, so it'll be fun to add some things to our game box. But I would love more ideas for couples games or family games that you can do with toddlers, because I think that would be really fun to do as a family. Alright, this is getting closer. I'm trying to get the salmon cooked a little bit more than halfway through before I flip it, because it's skin side down right now and I don't want to burn the top of it, if that makes sense. So I'm trying to get it almost cooked through before I flip it. Okay, someone said, love fantasy football. Also, Nerf guns are a blast. That makes me a little nervous with babies, but I don't know. Maybe it's safe enough. Scavenger hunt. That might be fun with kids. Yeah, if we found like some easy things around the house to look for, or even outdoors, scavenger hunt would be really fun. Would add character for the kids. The Nerf guns would add character for the kids. It might be fun. It just makes me a little nervous flying things and eyes, but that just tells you I'm a mom. Any sort of drawing stuff? Yes, I don't know if you were on when I was talking about this earlier, but one of my favorite things to do at the end of the day is do some sort of drawing or craft with my kids and get them calmed down for bed, but also helps me unwind a little bit and have some fun being creative. My husband always hates it when I turn on this fan while I'm doing my live stream, but it's starting to need to be turned on, so I'm sorry for the extra noise. I think I'm going to go ahead and flip this salmon. Maybe I should have cut it in half before cooking it so it would cook more evenly. I'm not sure. You know what? Gotta use this. I think I'm going to let it cook a little bit longer before I flip it over. And then, oh boy, I forgot to set a timer for the asparagus. Let me check on it real quick. It's not done yet. I will set a timer now for like 5 minutes and then check on it. That's 6 minutes. I don't think it's been longer than 4, so it should be fine. Now that my coffee is a little bit further down, I think I may as well add that whipped cream to it that I was going to do earlier. But I wanted to get started on my supper first. Getting out this handy little whisk thingy that I thought would not be handy for mixing up this heavy whipping cream, but it actually really is. So, I found out that if you add a little bit of sugar to it, it helps it whip a little better. Just a spoonful of sugar. Except for it's a coffee. Probably shouldn't sing on. Oh no! Ah. Oh my goodness. That's a mess. Okay. I'm gonna be a little more careful. Alright. Oh my goodness! How did I do that? For goodness sake. Alright. Clean off my camera. Someone said there. Oh, stink. I somehow. Oh, there we go. Okay. Someone said, there goes your outfit. At least it's the end of the day, though, and it doesn't really matter. Oh my goodness, this is such a mess. I'm going to go ahead and flip this salmon, though, in case anyone's interested. Goodness gracious. Can't believe I did that. Whew. See what I mean? It's like black. So I didn't want that to happen to the other side of the salmon. That's why I cooked it a little bit longer on that side. Now I gotta clean up all of my cabinets. There's whipped cream everywhere. Look at this. It is literally everywhere. Oh my goodness. I didn't even see it all over me. Well, that's what happens when you try to rush. Oh well. Now you know. Gotta be careful when you're whipping whipped cream. That's hilarious though. Keeps you busy. Yeah. I don't have enough to do, I guess. There's just gotta be extra stuff to do all the time. Alright. Now a cherry on top. Not as cute as I imagined it would be, but that's okay. Still fun. The only thing I don't like is the extra chunks of cherry. Even though they're small, it feels like I have to chew my coffee. Which is a little bit weird, but oh well. It still tastes yummy, so I think it's worth it. Alrighty. Salmon is almost done. I don't want to take it off too early, but I I think it will cook a little bit more once I take it off the pan. And then I can get busy on the glaze, which I'm really excited about. I know it might sound a little weird to do a berry salmon, but I think it'll be really yummy. Someone said, does it smell good? Yeah, it does. Right now it just smells of salmon, and I can smell a little bit of the cherries I cooked earlier, but this is what I'm excited about. When these are cooked, that's going to be the most fragrant, amazing, bright smell. I don't know how else to explain it, but I cooked some raspberries last week for my truffles, and it was just amazing. So I know this is going to be really good. That is the timer for the asparagus, so I'll go ahead and check on it. Alright, I think that's done enough that I can add the Parmesan cheese. I'm just using this sprinkle stuff, not anything fancy. But I didn't want it to burn on the asparagus, so that's why I cooked it a little bit first. That's soft. Okay. Now that smells really good too. Hopefully this all tastes as good as it smells. Alright, the salmon should be done, so I'll go ahead and show you that. Yay, look how nice that looks. You can't really see it very well, but that looks great. I'm going to set that aside, and finally, the part I've been looking forward to. I turned that off for a second because it was starting to get out of hand, but I think it's doing a little bit better now. Alright, I'm just going to cook that on low for a few minutes. Let it get thickened. But doesn't that look so good already? I'm so excited to try that. It's going to be really yummy. I'm just stirring like crazy because I don't want it to burn. I want it to thicken and caramelize, but I don't want it to be burnt. That looks good to me. I'm gonna turn it off and let that just cool slightly before pouring it onto the salmon. I'm really happy with how that turned out. It already smells so good, and I feel like you can kind of know how something tastes almost by how it smells. There are a few strange exceptions to that. Like when something smells disgusting and then it actually tastes good. Those always surprise me. I did a glazed pork one time that smelled weird. It smelled off. But then I actually tasted it and it was really good. So that always is weird. I don't think I'd eat something if it smelled bad. Makes sense. I mean, that would be a logical thing to do, but I had worked so hard on it and I wanted to know how it tasted. Plus I was doing it for a live stream, so I had to taste it and let you know what I thought of it. And it was surprisingly good. So I have actually made it since then again, and I think that might be one of the only recipes that I've redone after doing it once already. Smell does play a huge part. Whoa! Okay, almost exited out of this. Alright, we're almost done. I gotta get a good angle of this pour because it's only gonna get poured on once. Let me see here. I'm gonna scooch this down. Set the plate over here, I guess. Wait. I want to get close enough that you can see it because I think it'll look really pretty. Okay, that's good enough. Now I'm just going to be quiet and let you see how beautiful this is. Look at that. That's so satisfying. Yay. I'm so glad that it looks pretty. I would be sad if not. And you're supposed to garnish with a little bit of fresh thyme. I do not know how much of this to use. I pretty much never use fresh thyme, but I wanted to do it just for this. It looks so pretty and it actually smells incredible. So excited. Okay, now I'm gonna take out the asparagus and I think that's done too. So we'll get our final taste test in just a minute. Ta-da! Asparagus is done, and we've got a fancy but simple meal all finished. Okay. Now just to plate it up. Ooh. Looks so good. What I should have done was, well, put the salmon on top of the asparagus, but that's okay. It still looks really pretty. I'm not a professional plater, but let me show you this. Look how beautiful that is. The thyme and the Parmesan on there. Now it's time for the taste test. The best part, you don't get to taste it, but if you were cooking along with me, you might have. If you're following my Facebook, which is just Scrumptious Table, that's all you have to look for. But I have been posting the ingredients before my live stream. So if you want to cook along with me, that is now an option that you can do. I'm gonna turn off that fan now. So annoying. Okay, this first. That is really good. For being so simple to make, I'm really proud of that. Now for the salmon and the berry glaze. I gotta get a good bit on there so I can fully taste it. It's wanting to fall off my fork. I guess that's a good thing. Okay. Yum. That is really good. Yes. It's always fun when it tastes really yummy and it's the first time you've done it. Okay. I fully recommend that. Super fun, super fancy, but really simple. And you can make it around the chaos of your children if you have children and you're watching this. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. I know that was kind of a little bit crazy there towards the middle, but thanks for sticking with me through it. I will see you in the next one.